In this video, I will show you how to create custom stats in Hand2Note. First of all, creating custom stats in Hand2Note is very simple. Imagine you are creating some filter that selects required hands. In this video, we will create a stat which shows how often a player on big blind 3-bets against a player on button. Create the new stat and give it a name. At first, we need to add actions. Add condition that villain raised and player did a re-raise. This condition selects all hands where someone did a raise on pre-flop and someone next to him did a raise again. And between those raises, any count of folds is possible. On each action, set first action of its players on the street. Press test and check hands which hit our filter. Player is always the one we are going to look stats in pop-ups or HUD, and villain is always any of his opponents. Actions of the player are underlined, i.e. the player whose stats we will be interested in game. Then go back to editor and specify button position for the villain and big blind position for the player. Currently, it is the player on big blind. The filter selects only hands where players seated on required positions. Our stat is almost ready, but we haven't considered hands where someone raised, next player did a re-raise, and third player on big blind did the third raise again. It is not a 3-bet. To exclude such situations, we need to set first non-fold action on street for the villain. Now no one can make an action until the villain. But the problem now is that hands where someone limped before button are missing our filter. That's why we need to add an alternative row of actions. I set bet sizing of the call not more than 1 big blind, because I know that limps cannot exceed 1 big blind. Then we set position of big blind and button for the new row of actions. Now the stat is ready. The logic of the stat appeared to be quite difficult. However, it was quite simple to design it in Hand2Note. You may find additional documentation on actions options on the right panel on our website. In the next video, I will tell you how to create stats depending on hand strength. For example, bet river bluff.